right here.
Oh god, once you hit that
200
clamber,
million gifted.
I found no my cloud strike ammo.
Isn't there a game mode now? Okay,
all I
like
need is
send
one.
me a thing. Wasn't there like a game mode with no radar in it now?
At this point, the subathon timer is 1 hour, and it's ticking down live right now at twitch.tv/cambicakes, and you have the power to add time to the clock by subscribing. Thank you so much if you decide to stop by. So my Twitch chat went huge, and we hit every single initial sub goal to the point where we had to add more goals, and we're almost to the chat votes on the next cosplay goal, where I could be Summer Santa, a clown, a lumberjack, or a Catboy maid. Hey friends, I wanted to make a follow-up video to my State of Titans in Destiny 2 PvP, and I finally found my long-range build on Titan that I think is competitive, but I'm not sure if it's working as intended, but whatever, we'll take it. I'm talking about Crest of Alpha Lupi. And I know what you're thinking, like, oh, it's always been good. It's always been a near full heal for your entire team by just casting a barricade. Yeah, it does that. But with the new Aspect Shield Burst, it activates twice. So for example, if I ricochet around myself on the wall, you're going to see I'm weak. Then I throw the barricade, I get the heal, right? A little bit of overshield from going class ability, right? That's great. Watch this. I don't even have to have line of sight with the barricade, right? I can just detonate the barricade, and it's a second heal on that crazy cooldown of the rally barricade. So then you can kind of tailor this build to fit any map and playstyle. And to me, all roads lead back to Peacekeepers, or at least a similar playstyle. If you want to play Drank, for example, you go Towering Barricade, and I'll just shift that here, a sniper rifle, and you'll play it like, let me try to find some flat ground here. If I want to access this position, I would just pop the barricade like this, it slides through the wall, and I follow the barricade in. And it sort of blocks the enemies shooting at you as you go in. And let's say I got damaged following my barricade in. Well, I just wait a few seconds because it does have an internal cooldown. You can even like rocket jump with the barricade detonation. Wasn't like the best example, but you kind of understand the premise. This hallway is perfect. So if I want to play Teraba or Drang, throw my barricade, follow it up, and look, I own the space now. It's kind of like Arbor Warden. And Arbor Warden's still good with this. I just think the double heal is, well, what makes Titan relevant on a long-range map. Speaking of long-range setup, I think the best setup, high key, is Dead Man's Tail, not Jade Rabbit. And the reason for that is when you use the rally barricade, you can just uncrouch to shoot your shot. You don't have to aim down sights. But a quick tip I would give is that you can aim down sights and re-hit the crouch button so you don't get sniped. Of course, you lose your radar, which I guess you could solve with Mida Multi-Tool, which also is very fun. But in general, I find that being able to accurately hip fire over the barricade is just so much better. The next thing is this healing auto rifle, No Hesitation, which gives restoration to your teammates, which activates Ember of Benevolence, which means you have more barricades. And the beauty of this on the long range maps is, of course, you just set up on your long range angle, enemy team is on the flag, you take a couple pot shots, you get weak, right? You throw your barricade to immediately go full health and reach out again. And if you stand behind the barricade with a kinetic or solar weapon and shoot them, they get scorched, right? So they stay 1 HP, then you use your barricade detonation to fly at them and follow up the weakened target. So again, this is why I consider this a competitive long-range build. But on medium-range maps like Endless Vale, I was finding that the Adagio 120 with heal clip was going crazy for maintaining tempo, especially when you have slight high ground so that the rally barricade is not a disadvantage. So like on Endless Vale, I would post up on the B flag, I would pre-throw the barricade so I would have cover, and 3, like tournament grade hand cannon shotgun players would slide, and I would just pop over the barricade like this, and just exchange a couple scorch shots on them. They would get weak. I would probably get headshot once. I would dip behind cover, activate my full health, and then I would chow them. I would get Adagio. I would, of course, be tapped up. I'd heal clip back up to full, and then start tapping them up again. And by the time I pushed them back into their spawn, I would return to B flag and pop my barricade again because I had the cooldown. And this just repeated until power ammo. But it gets even crazier. I feel like I'm selling you a product here. This is real. This is a real broken build here. Dynamo procs on both the activation and the detonation. And it activates Slice not once, but twice. Sorry, I'm getting. I got 1 hour remaining on stuff. I'm going to live in about an hour real time, but the timer watching this video, I'm probably live right now. And as the timer ticks down to 0, someone's going to donate and make the timer go up a bit. So I want to anticipate a couple more hours of stream. But watch the bottom left of the screen here. Slice, right? Look at the timer. Timer resets. And so you could do some devastating stuff with a Immortal, with Slice and Kill Clip. Also, I tried a lot of viewer suggestions, for example. I tried Hard Light sitting behind the rally barricade on Scorch, maybe Scorch people behind a corner. I tried ignition combos with Incendiary Grenade. I tried sunspots and so on. They're all okay. It's really dealer's choice. As long as you have Shield Burst and then your choice of barricade for the map, it's fine. The build's gonna work. But the one I will mention is Skyburner's Oath, because it guarantee scorches the target, which activates the Ember of Singeing. So you get your class ability even faster. Very similar playstyle to the DMT healer auto rifle I was showing you. And in case you didn't know it, the stasis auto rifle from Distortions gives you frost armor. So you could also run that with Polaris Lance if you wanted to and get a similar experience. I think that summarizes this build. I'll show you the fragments and whatnot for each of the builds I was running. That double dynamo goes crazy. So this is my Slice high impact pulse rifle from Prophecy. It's fantastic. Maybe I don't want elemental honing on this though, since I'm not really proccing that many elements. Then we have the Endless Veil medium range play ahead glitch. Here you go on the fragments again. Sometimes I do swap off Sol Invictus for Consecration. Then the Dead Man's Tale uber long range map. And I'm not committed to like finalizing all of these builds. I'm still tuning them and learning about new weapons that exist, new solar pulse rifles and so on. And eventually I will have like a finalized row or two of this build. And I might even go back to using Consecration. But I'm just not 100% sure, so let me know in the comment section if I did not mention something extremely important with this build. Otherwise, I think you got the gist of it, and finally, Titans, it's been years. We can finally solo play a long-range map in 6s and not feel like we're at a disadvantage. Also, wow, they moved those 2 ammos, that's cute.